In today's interconnected world, where the flow of goods, services, and capital shapes the rise and fall of economies, few events carry the weight and global consequences of a trade war. At the heart of one of the most consequential economic conflicts in modern history stand two titans: the United States and China. For years, these economic superpowers have locked horns in a battle that has sent ripples across stock markets, disrupted global supply chains, and created uncertainty for businesses and consumers alike. But now, after months of mounting tariffs, tense diplomatic exchanges, and retaliatory economic measures, something has shifted. In a surprise but strategic move, both nations have agreed to a 90-day truce, a pause in the trade war that has dominated international headlines. This decision, reached during a high-stakes meeting between the US and Chinese leadership, signals more than just a cooling-off period. It represents a rare moment of opportunity in a conflict that many feared was spiraling out of control. During these 90 days, negotiators from both sides are expected to meet frequently, aiming to resolve a range of contentious issues, from intellectual property theft and forced technology transfers to trade imbalances and market access. The stakes are enormous. Billions of dollars in tariffs have already been imposed, affecting goods from soybeans and steel to smartphones and semiconductors. For industries around the world, especially those deeply integrated into the US-China supply chain, the outcome of these talks could determine their future stability and growth. One of the key signs of hope in this delicate dance is the reduction of certain tariffs. In the weeks following the agreement, both governments have shown signs of goodwill, easing up on some duties, allowing specific imports, and even extending olive branches through public statements. These early moves, while cautious, suggest a willingness to compromise. For investors, economists, and policymakers alike, they are encouraging signals that perhaps, just perhaps, both sides see value in cooperation over continued confrontation. Just as important as the policy shifts is the noticeable change in tone. Where once there were harsh words and threats of economic retaliation, there is now a more measured, diplomatic approach. Leaders from both countries have emphasized dialogue, mutual respect, and the importance of stable economic relations. It's a shift that hasn't gone unnoticed. Media analysts, market strategists, and global leaders are interpreting this change in language as a sign of deeper, behind-the-scenes progress. Still, optimism is tempered by realism. The road ahead is fraught with challenges. Trust between the two powers remains fragile, and fundamental disagreements persist. There is also the looming question of what happens when the 90-day clock runs out. Will there be a lasting agreement? Or will tensions resurface, perhaps stronger than before? Much will depend on what is accomplished during this brief window of time, and whether both sides are truly willing to make concessions. Across the globe, governments and multinational corporations are watching closely. From Berlin to Tokyo, London to Johannesburg, the ripple effects of US-China trade relations impact everything from currency markets to oil prices, from employment rates to consumer spending. For emerging economies particularly reliant on exports, a stable US-China relationship is crucial. In many ways, the success or failure of these talks will not just affect two countries but the trajectory of the global economy itself. As the days count down and negotiations unfold, the world holds its breath. This 90-day pause is more than a diplomatic gesture. It is a test of leadership, vision, and the ability to rise above political pressures for the greater economic good. Whether it ends in a breakthrough or a breakdown, one thing is certain: these talks will define the next chapter of international trade. So, as diplomats exchange documents, analysts pore over statements, and markets react with every move, one question remains: can the United States and China find common ground before time runs out? The clock is ticking. The world is watching.